From now on, we will look at the causes of this phenomenon and see which parts of your brain are malfunctioning. To do so, we need to know the functions of orbitofrontal cortex, caudate nucleus and cingulate gyrus that I mentioned above. Orbitofrontal cortex detects errors. In other words, it distinguishes right from wrong. It also helps you make a decision to get close to something or to evade it. Caudate nucleus is like a gear changing the speed of these thoughts. It shifts the gear of thoughts to decide whether to make progress based on the decisions made in orbitofrontal cortex and to move on to the next step of your thought process. Cingulate gyrus is a part that feels instinctive fear and anxiety. It helps you make instinctive decisions based on your intuition and feelings. The causes of your obsessive behaviors can be explained with aforementioned functions of these brain parts. When the detection function of orbitofrontal cortex breaks down, you get to think constantly that something is wrong. As it becomes hard to distinguish right from wrong, caudate nucleus cannot shift its gear with ease. In response, cingulate gyrus, which is in charge of the instinctive fear, is activated. As a result, irresistible and uncomfortable feelings that you must do something is created. The reason why you cannot overcome your OCD just with your willpower is that your cingulate gyrus is in a stimulated status. When you encounter a lion or a snake, you automatically feel fear or anxiety. As it is a part that controls instinctive reactions, you cannot just shake off your uncomfortable feelings. This is the reason why OCD symptoms tend to be the behaviors caused by the fears at an instinctive level, the ones related to survival. To ensure one's safety is one of the most primitive reactions for survival. When you think about past incidents of contagious disease outbreak, it is no wonder that we feel the fear of contamination as a primitive reaction. The fear of mutual trust breaking is also related to one's survival, because you can be at risk of your life when you are socially exiled. This is the reason why OCD symptoms manifest in forms of patients continuously checking, cleansing and doubting. I cannot say that every symptom is as such, but certainly a large portion of OCD symptoms are connected with the fear at an instinctive level. This is also related to the fact that most of OCD patients tend to show nervous reactions to death. A matter of life and death is a primary concern for them. At times when they become too sensitive to the issue of death, they develop hypochondria. It is like they are getting contaminated with their own observation of fear and danger that other people are in. I myself once had an experience similar to this. It was a day I was pondering on the issue of OCD. Somehow, I felt that there was a strange smell in my house. I decided to light a scented candle and leave, as I had to be out for about 3 hours. This was to solve the issue with the strange smell. After lighting the scented candle, I cleared its vicinity to prevent fire, left my house and started my car. Suddenly, I felt a tremendous amount of anxiety. What if something goes wrong and my house burns down? There still can be a 0.1% chance of fire. I was so terrified and anxious that it felt like my body was burning up. It was an indescribable pressure and pain. I tried to extinguish this emotional fire that I was caught on by reasoning myself that such event is unlikely to occur, but with no success. I even started to imagine my curtains falling down and catching fire. I had to leave if I didn't want to be late, but at the same time, I wanted to go back to my house and blow out the candle. I already knew that it was a feeling created by my stimulated cingulate gyrus, because I was pondering on the problem of OCD almost every day at that time. I felt that I must not succumb to this urge by continuously stopping myself from going back in, even though I was in tremendous pain. It was the exact thing that I had been advising to my patients. I knew that I had to face the pain, even though I risked my house burning down. I had a hard time stopping myself from imagining fire as I was driving to the place of meeting. I tried to go back many times. The same feeling persisted during the entire meeting. It kept harassing me. The pressure elevated slowly as time went by, but at the same time I realized that it was not going to go away. It disappeared at the exact moment I checked my scented candle that was freshening up my room after I finally came back home. Feelings as such belong in one's subconscious. This is the reason why I could not control myself no matter how much I tried. Subconsciousness is stronger than consciousness. There is even a saying that there is no such thing as free will, because in most of the cases human behaviors are subconsciously influenced. In my case explained above, I knew that there was a low chance of fire breaking at a conscious level. However, my subconsciousness still brought about the fear of fire. This is a subconscious reaction. Subconsciousness is a power that makes you imagine emotionally. Maybe it was just faithfully carrying out its role. Maybe it was just memorizing important experiences I had and was alarming me with fear to help me survive, by stopping me from re-experiencing the pain I once felt. It made a decision to do so to keep me alive. That's exactly the reason why we automatically follow our unconscious responses. It is no wonder our subconsciousness is stronger than our consciousness. I once crossed a glass bridge when I was on a trip to China. It was a high bridge made of glass connecting two mountains. I could clearly see the space under the bridge through the glass bottom. I had a fun and thrilling experience crossing that bridge because I had a belief that I was safely protected by the firm glass. However, I saw a person with a fear of heights crawling, not being able to look down. He knew that he was on a safe bridge, but his body could not react as such. It was because his subconsciousness imagined a fear of death by falling. It was an automatic warning sign. Things like this cannot be controlled as easily as we control what we say. You have to accept your helplessness in the situations that involve stimulated cingulate gyrus. It is not a matter of will. It is a bodily reaction that you cannot control as you wish. What you can do instead is to understand that the fear you are feeling is the product of your subconscious imagination. You have to accept that it is an erroneous feeling. You have to use these understandings to fix the information you have that are stored at a subconscious level. It is about realizing that even though it feels real, the fear you are feeling is imagined. It is just like when you are watching a movie. Try to admit that your imagination is not real, endure the pain and cross that bridge as I did. Knowing the truth gives you strength. There is nothing to be feared once you can see the truth. We can do bungee jump only because we believe that it is a safe activity, because there is a safety rope to catch us when we jump down. We won't be able to jump if there is no such safety device, or we cannot trust it even if it is there. It will be an impossible thing to do. Realization like this will help you restore the function of your caudate nucleus. When your automatic gear system is broken, you have to employ a manual gear system. Realizing is crucial to overcoming mild obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. There is no need for you to blame yourself for not being able to control your OCD. It is a brain dysfunction caused by certain psychological causes. Naturally, you won't be able to control it. You have to accept that you are helpless in dealing with your OCD. You have to accept it as it is. False expectations will only cause you more pain. You need to change your viewpoint, too. You need to focus on the things you can do to fix the dysfunction. You need to find the things you can do. Blaming yourself for your inability to control and being anxious will only intensify your symptoms. You must understand your situation based on the scientific knowledge on our brains.